I got to ask about this conflict, though. I mean, we've seen what happens on the Democratic side when there's a civil war in the Democratic Party that's been actually raging for many years between the progressive left side of the party and the corporatist establishment side of the party, sort of the Bernie versus Hillary kind of struggle.
The progressive side just fucking just lays down and takes it, Ted.
But, well,
just, let's be honest.
That's true in the Democratic side so far. But now you have this conflict. I mean, Donald Trump is between a rock and a hard place, right? And Molly Ivan said, "You dance with them that brung you." Well, the people who brought Donald Trump to the ball is the populist right? It's the America First MAGA people, and then Vivek and Elon are on the other side of that equation because they're globalists and corporatists who, they don't care really about the country. What they're just trying to do is make as much money as possible. So there's a conflict there, right? I mean, there's a fracture within the right. So, like, how does Donald Trump keep his coalition together? How does he keep both sides happy?
Oh, wow. Look, I love that question because you see it as a fracture and it's framed as a fracture. It may not be a fracture. I think the end goal really is to save America. And I know that sounds weird because you have two different approaches, right? You have someone who he's an immigrant himself to America, Elon Musk, right? And he worked his butt off to get to where he is. So he sees the accomplishments. Same with Vivek. At some point, whether him or his family moved to America and work their butts off to get to the point where he can even be. Right, where he
was
even
also
be a
from a very
presidential
wealthy family too.
Like his mom was like a doctor, or dad, or one of them was a doctor or something like that, and the other one was like a business person anyway. So he came from Vivek came from money already, like not great wealth, but
and Elon came from filthy like apartheid money. I mean,
Elon came from wealth also, and Andrew, you're not seeing this because you're audio only, but on this screen I have Elon's tweet posted, and he changed his handle on Twitter, on X, to be Kekius Maximus, and put the Pepe Frog in a the Pepe Frog face with it wearing like a Roman soldier, armor. Right. And he says, this is the tweet that got him, that's just setting off the war is he says, the reason I'm in America, along with so many critical people who built SpaceX, Tesla, and hundreds of other companies that made America strong, is because of H-1B. Take a big step back and fuck yourself in the face.
Love it.
I will go to war on this issue, the likes of which you cannot possibly comprehend.
Yeah, but does Donald Trump want that war?
Well, hold on. Now, hold on, Angie. Hold that thought, because I want to do some Donald Trump on the stump. Just listen to this audio for 1 minute. Donald Trump on the stump versus Donald Trump the other day, who sounds like he's kissing the ring of his second biggest financial backer behind Miriam Adelson, which is Elon Musk. So this is going to take about 1 minute. So have a listen. Hold on. Here's Trump.
Well, first of all, I think, and I know the H-1B very well, and that's something that I frankly use, and I shouldn't be allowed to use. We shouldn't have it. Very, very bad for workers. And second of all, I think it's very important to say, well, I'm a businessman and I have to do what I have to do. And it's sitting there waiting for you, but it's very bad. It's very bad for business in terms of, it's very bad for our workers, and it's unfair for our workers, and we should end it.
A few moments later.
And what I will do is, you graduate from a college, I think you should get automatically, as part of your diploma, a green card. They go back to India, they go back to China, they do the same basic company in those places, and they become multi-billionaires employing thousands and thousands of people, and it could have been done here.
I guess it's kind of like that Captain America Civil War movie, right?
All right. So you guys heard that there, right? Donald Trump just literally a couple of years ago saying H-1B is bad. I'm going to end it if I get back into office. And now he's coming back to office. And he's like, Now he's tweeting or truthing or whatever. He's like, I've used it. Used it for what? You don't own a tech company. Well, I guess he owns Truth, so maybe, I don't know.
He does use it. He used it for his properties. I'm sure he's.
I heard he was using H-2B visas for that. That's a different, like, unskilled kind of thing.
Look, these things exist for a reason. Have they been abused? Probably. Have other
100%.
industries, right? Have certain industries overused it? Yes. But again, quotas, guys. I'm not for killing these programs. I think they're good for America. I think there are a lot of things that we just are not very good at, right?
I
For
don't see how
example,
they're good for America. I mean, how are they good for American workers? I mean, I don't get it. Like,
I think
if
I
you're
think
sitting at
it's
home in your house unemployed, you know,
well, I think that's in some ways I look at it more of like a teaching
I mean,
experience. So, for example, like semiconductors. We're not experts in semiconductors, but if we brought in a couple of people from Taiwan who've been doing this for 30, 40 years, American workers, then that's not a bad thing, is it? Right? So, I mean, I see there's benefits to it. I think it has been abused. I think certain industries only use it, and we, certainly the financial industry loves this, right? But remember, if there is a cost penalty to hiring foreign workers, companies may go back and say, hey, that may not work for me, right? I'll give you a story. I brought in a foreign worker, and she was just my nanny for 1 year. I went through the whole HB1 visa process. I think it was HB1. And I paid her wages that were American wages. That was part of the program. It's not like you get to skimp out on wages. You have to still pay, whatever
Right.
the, whatever that tax year is. She was happy. She went home after 1 year and bought a house in the Philippines. She loved it and took care of her family. She's now in real estate. I mean, the whole thing. So I feel pretty good about it. But I do think maybe there's some reform that can happen. For example, maybe after 5 years, you have to go back. I don't know. Whatever it may be. I think there's
well, they have to
some
go
sort.
back if they lose their job. They have to go. They're basically indentured servants.
Yeah, that's how Americans see it. And I can see that because they don't have the rights of Americans.
That's how they see it when you talk to them.